The vibrant world of Zephyron hummed with life, a place where bioluminescent flora pulsed with colors unseen on Earth. Marcus pulled the tattered fabric of his jacket tighter around him as he stepped into the grove, the air thick with floral scents that beckoned like a siren's call. Sunlight streamed through towering trees, creating a kaleidoscope of glimmers dancing alongside the delicate foliage. He couldn't shake the feeling of wonder. "I can't believe this place exists," Marcus muttered to himself, awed by the sprawling beauty. He had come to Zephyron as part of a small human exploration team, a chance to emergency repair their damaged ship, but also a chance for discovery. Lost in thought, he nearly stumbled over a patch of phosphorescent flowers that glowed like stars at his feet. As Marcus examined the flora, he caught a glimpse of movement from the corner of his eye. Startled, he turned to find a figure standing just beyond the treeline. "Who are you?" he called out, taking a cautious step back. The figure emerged and Marcus's heart raced. It was a Zephyronian woman, her skin a vibrant shade of teal, patterned with iridescent markings that seemed to mirror the flowers around her. Big, luminous eyes regarded him with an expression of both curiosity and caution. "I am Lyra," she said, her voice melodic and yet strong. "And you are human?" Yeah," Marcus replied, caught off guard by her beauty. "I'm Marcus. Just trying to, gather some resources." "Your planet is incredible." Lyra smiled, revealing sharp, elegant features. "You wander into the heart of Zephyron and admire its beauty. Most would see only trade routes or mining opportunities." Marcus chuckled awkwardly. "Well, I didn't come here to exploit it. We crashed and are trying to survive, actually." "Crash?" Lyra echoed, her brow furrowing. "You fell from space?" "More like we landed, badly," he admitted, laughing nervously. "But we're working on getting back up there. It's just not easy with everything." "Your people have a strange way of exploring," Lyra remarked, stepping closer, her curiosity evident. "You risked your lives for knowledge?" "It's not recklessness, it's more of a," he hesitated, looking for the right words. "A drive to understand the unknown." Lyra tilted her head, analyzing him in a way he found unnervingly intimate. "The unknown? But isn't home the most familiar place?" "You'd think so, but there's so much out there, so much more to see. We have this innate urge to explore." He glanced around, feeling the weight of her gaze. "Not all humans are looking to conquer." She nodded slowly, the light filtering through the trees illuminating her intricate markings. "Then perhaps you are the exception." Just then, a rustling noise broke the moment. Marcus turned to see a peculiar creature darting through the underbrush, a small, furry creature resembling a cross between a ferret and a rabbit. The creature paused, observing them with big, inquisitive eyes before scampering away. "That's a whirling," Lyra said, pointing. "They are harmless but curious, much like you." Marcus chuckled, trying to ease the tension. "Guess we both have a penchant for wandering too far. Do you always greet strangers in your forest like this?" "Only those who seem different," Lyra replied. "Who have stories to tell." The two shared a glance, and Marcus felt an unexpected thrill, as if the air around them vibrated with possibilities. "Well, I do have a few stories," he said, rubbing the back of his neck sheepishly. "Like the time I got lost in the jungles of South America. I thought I'd never find my way out." Lyra raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "And did you?" "I did, thankfully. But not without some unusual adventures," he continued, his voice gaining momentum. "I ran into a tribe that was suspicious of outsiders. They thought I was some sort of spirit, until I accidentally startled one while trying to make a fire." Lyra laughed, a musical sound that made his heart skip. "A spirit who cannot even light a fire?" "Yeah, embarrassing. But they were rather kind once I explained I was just a lost human." He shrugged, but a smile lingered. "What about you? Any adventures that come to mind?" Lyra's expression shifted. "I have explored the seas of Zephyron, dived into its depths, and spoken to the creatures who dwell beneath the waves. They are poetic if you understand their songs. Swimming with alien sea monsters sounds incredible." Marcus exclaimed, his eyes lighting up. "You have to show me sometime." "Maybe I will," Lyra replied, a hint of mischief in her voice. "If you earn my trust." He crossed his arms playfully. Challenge accepted. Their banter continued, giving way to a shared laughter that made the grove feel like a sanctuary away from the outside world. Despite their vast differences, an undeniable connection began to spark between them. "You're different from the others," Lyra said, her tone suddenly serious. "You see Zephyron for what it is, not just for what you can take." "Like you said, we're not all the same," Marcus replied. "You're not what I expected either. Where are the scary aliens I was warned about?" Lyra smirked, folding her arms. "Perhaps stereotypes exist only to be broken. Besides, what fun would it be to be predictable?" They lingered in the grove, their conversation flowing naturally. Each moment felt raw and authentic, a breath of fresh air amidst the technological chatter of their respective civilizations. Eventually, the sun began to dip toward the horizon, casting golden hues across the grove. "I should get going," Marcus said reluctantly, though he wished he could stay. "Is it always this beautiful?" "Only when you're here to appreciate it," Lyra replied softly, and a chill ran down his spine. Was she flirting, or was it a friendly remark? He couldn't tell. "I'd like to come back," he said, trying to keep the tone light. "Maybe next time I'll bring an Earth delicacy." "Do you like pizza?" "Pizza? Is that one of your precious Earth food items?" Her eyes sparkled with interest. "It's the king of Earth food," he insisted. "When I'm able to get home, I'll whip up a batch and bring a slice for you." "Then I will await your return, Marcus," Lyra said, her gaze lingering on him. As they exchanged goodbyes, he couldn't help but feel an unease settling in his chest. What lay ahead for them? He didn't know, but he was eager to find out. With one last glance back at Lyra, he turned to leave, heart racing at the thought of returning to the grove. A single truth blossomed within him. He longed for more than just exploration. He yearned for connection, and in Lyra he suspected he might have found it. Chapter 2, Bridges of Understanding. A few days had passed since Marcus first met Lyra, and each moment felt like a lifetime without her presence. The temporary human settlement was a flurry of activity as they struggled to repair their ship. But Marcus's thoughts drifted away from tools and diagnostics. They anchored in the glowing grove where laughter had blossomed like flowers. After a grueling day of work filled with frenetic energy and frustrating miscommunications among team members, the sun dipped low on the horizon. Marcus felt a familiar tugging in his heart, pulling him back toward Lyra. "Hey, where are you off to?" Nathan, one of the other engineers, called out as Marcus edged away from the main camp. "You've got to help with the modulator." Marcus shrugged, glancing back at the makeshift equipment they had assembled. "It can wait. I need a break from this metal jungle." "Fine, go off and frolic with aliens," Nathan teased, waving him off. "Make sure to tell them we are totally peaceful explorers." Yeah, Marcus said with a wave, stepping into the warm twilight. As he made his way back to the grove, he felt a mix of anticipation and nervousness. Would Lyra be there? What if she wasn't? Each step quickened his pulse until he finally broke through the trees and stepped into the vibrant world that felt alive with color and sound. "Marcus!" Lyra's voice rang out, joyous and welcoming. She emerged from the shadows, her teal skin shimmering against the bioluminescent flora. "You return." "I couldn't stay away," he replied, grinning as he approached. "Miss this place too much." Lyra laughed, her eyes sparkling. "What is there to miss when you have the cold embrace of metal around you?" "Touché." He gestured to the plants. "I definitely prefer this. It feels alive. Words cannot describe the essence of Zephyron, yet you try." Lyra tilted her head, a playful expression adorning her face. "What else did you bring with you from your world?" "Well, back home, we have a thing called music." He hesitated, sensing her curiosity. "It's like a collection of sounds, different notes and rhythms." "Show me," she urged, her expression earnest. "Art of your kind fascinates me." "You've never heard music?" he asked, surprised. "There are songs in Zephyron, the winds sing, the waves harmonize. But music as you speak of? I have not experienced it." "All right, let me see what I can do." Marcus rummaged through his gear, pulling out a small device he'd equipped for emergencies. He powered it on, and a light flickered to life. "What is that?" Lyra asked, stepping closer. "A portable music player," Marcus explained, his heart racing with excitement. "You'll love it." He pressed a button and soft notes drifted into the air. The melodies intertwined, soaring and dipping like a gentle breeze. Lyra's eyes widened and she stood frozen, captivated by the sounds. "What is this, magic?" she whispered, her expression a mixture of awe and wonder. "It's just music," Marcus replied, watching her reaction intently. As the music played, Lyra swayed slightly, her body moving in tandem with the rhythm. "It is delightful, but also unfamiliar. I can feel emotions flowing through the sound." He nodded. "Exactly. Music can tell stories, evoke feelings." Lyra turned her gaze back to him, her bright eyes focused. "Will you tell me a story?" "Well, I can try." He leaned against a nearby tree, the music enhancing the atmosphere. "Once upon a time, there was a boy who dreamed of flying among the stars. He loved the way the night sky sparkled, and he often wondered what lay beyond the horizon." "Ah, a boy with dreams." Lyra smiled, her expression softening. "What happened next?" "The boy faced many obstacles. He worked hard, saved every bit of money, and finally built a ship. But when he flew, he discovered worlds beyond his wildest imagination, each more beautiful than the last." Marcus gestured toward the sky, lost in his story. Yet his heart longed for home. "Home." Lyra's voice was thoughtful. "What does it mean to you?" It's where people belong, where they're understood, he answered, his gaze searching hers. It's not just a place. It's the people, the experiences. Lyra pondered for a moment, tapping her chin. I understand. My home is here in Zephyron. It's my people and our culture, the songs of the sea and the whisper of the trees. Marcus smiled. That sounds beautiful. Like this music? She asked, pointing to the device. Exactly like this music, he said, feeling a warmth blossom between them. It connects us all. They spent hours immersed in conversation and music, each note weaving their stories together like a tapestry. The night wore on, and as the stars twinkled above, it felt like the universe itself was listening. Do you think our worlds can truly understand each other? Lyra asked, her expression somber as she gazed into the darkness. I think they can if we take the time to communicate, Marcus replied, his tone earnest. It starts with relationships like ours. Lyra looked at him, a mixture of vulnerability and strength in her eyes. Your words carry weight. I sense a bond forming. In that moment, their connection deepened, marking a profound shift in their understanding. They stood closer, the gap between them shrinking. The air felt charged, alive with possibility. Suddenly, the music stopped, its finale echoing like a whisper in the wind. Marcus fumbled with the device, embarrassed. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off the... It is fine, Lyra interjected, placing her hand gently on his forearm. The silence speaks too. A soft blush crept across his cheeks as he met her gaze, both of them acutely aware of the electric heat radiating from their touch. Yeah, sometimes silence says a lot. Marcus, can we continue to share our worlds? Lyra asked, her voice low. Your tales of Earth, your music, and maybe even your food? I want to experience everything. I'd love that, he replied, breathless, realizing how much he wanted to show her all the wonders of Earth. We could exchange art, stories, and yes, pizza. We should create something together. Lyra's eyes lit up and she nodded enthusiastically. Together, we will merge our cultures. I have ideas that may interest you. We could illustrate the beauty of Zephyron through your Earth methods. Now that sounds intriguing. But you know I'm not the best artist. Marcus chuckled, feeling the weight of her gaze. But I'll try if you guide me. I will teach you, she promised, her excitement palpable. We will create something that captures both our worlds. I can't wait, he said, grinning. Tomorrow, Lyra suggested, her spirit infectious. Tomorrow, Marcus affirmed, feeling anticipation bubble within him. It's a date. As they exchanged smiles, the space around them felt charged with possibility. Together, they began to weave a bridge that could connect their worlds, a blend of dreams and creativity. The night faded slowly, wrapping them in its tranquil embrace, far away from engines and metal. In that grove fueled by understanding, Marcus took a step closer and their hands brushed once more, a silent agreement that this was only the beginning. Chapter 3, Fragile Connections. The sun crested over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink that mirrored the colors of Zephyron's vibrant flora. Marcus felt a nervous flutter in his chest as he made his way back to the grove, clutching a small package of art supplies he had scavenged from their settlement. He had been thinking about their plans to create something together, something that merged both their worlds, and he was excited yet apprehensive. When he arrived, Lyra was already there, crouched beside a cluster of glowing plants, her fingers delicately tracing their luminescent outlines. She looked up, her eyes sparkling. Marcus, you came back. Of course. I wouldn't miss this for anything, he replied, a grin breaking across his face. I brought some things that might help us out. What have you? Lyra's voice was brimming with curiosity. She stood, her teal skin shimmering in the morning light. Marcus opened the package, revealing paints, brushes, and a blank canvas. Just a few art supplies. I thought we could start with something simple. Simple? You wish us to create art with only simple materials? She asked, arching an eyebrow in playful disbelief. Hey, it doesn't have to be complicated for it to be special, he replied, nudging her playfully with his shoulder. What matters is that we create together. Lyra looked at the canvas, her expression thoughtful. What shall we depict? The sea? The sky? Marcus scratched his chin. How about we try to capture this grove? It has its own magic. A wise choice, she said, stepping closer. But let us also blend in elements from both our worlds. I can include some bioluminescent creatures and you could add something from Earth. To make it more our own. Marcus replied, heart racing at the intensity of her gaze. Okay then, let's jump in. They settled on the soft grass beneath a tree, the bioluminescent plants glowing in a rhythm all their own. Lyra took one of the brushes and, with a flick of her wrist, painted her first stroke on the canvas, a swirl of blues and greens representing the river flowing through Zephyron. Watching her work was mesmerizing. You're a natural, Marcus said, genuinely impressed. I didn't know you could paint so well. Art is a language of its own, she replied, dipping the brush back into the colors. What of Earth stories? You spoke of many. Yeah. Let me think. He paused, recalling tales that resonated in his heart. There's one about a great eagle soaring above mountains, a creature of freedom. Then let us paint the eagle, Lyra suggested, her eyes glowing with excitement. Yeah. An eagle flying above the mountains, overlooking the river, Marcus said, beginning to sketch the outline on the canvas. As they worked, their conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter and shared glances. You know, Lyra said as she painted, I find it fascinating how much you humans strive for freedom. Freedom is essential to who we are, Marcus replied, concentrating on the colors. Without it, we feel lost. Lost? Lyra paused, her expression somber. We once nearly lost our freedom when outsiders invaded our territory to mine resources. It changed us. I'm sorry, Marcus said, sensing her pain. That must have been hard. It was, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. But we've learned to adapt. We fight for our culture now, but there's still misunderstanding between our peoples. Marcus nodded, considering her words. That's why we need to show each other more. Maybe through this art, we can share our perspectives. Yes, Lyra said, determination returning to her face. This piece will tell our stories. With renewed energy, they dove into their work, mixing colors and styles, creating a tapestry of their worlds. Lyra's strokes flowed gracefully while Marcus focused on the details of the eagle soaring high above. As they painted, time drifted like the morning mist. What about that time you scared a tribe in South America? Lyra asked, her eyes dancing with mirth. Oh man, that was so embarrassing. Marcus laughed, recalling the tale. I thought I would impress them by trying to start a fire, okay? Pro tip, when you're surrounded by suspicious strangers, don't drop your flint in their ceremonial pot. Lyra covered her mouth, trying to contain her laughter. What happened? They all jumped back, and I swear, some of them gasped as if I had summoned a spirit. It took a while before they realized I was just an awkward human. His eyes twinkled with the memory. Humans are whimsical, Lyra said, shaking her head, amused. Your stories are rather entertaining. Only when they are not happening to me, he chuckled. But it's all part of the adventure. As their laughter faded, a comfortable silence settled upon them, marked only by the sound of brushes on canvas. Lyra looked down, her brows knitting together as she added delicate details to her section of the painting. Marcus, she said, her voice softer now, do you ever fear our peoples will never understand each other? I worry about it sometimes, he admitted, the gravity of her question weighing down. But meeting you changed that for me. Me, she echoed, glancing up with surprise. How? You showed me the beauty of your world, of Zephyron. You've made me face my assumptions and realize there's so much I don't know, he confessed. Now I want to learn about your culture, your experiences. Lyra gazed at him, her eyes wide and searching his face. I feel the same. You've opened my eyes to Earth in a way I never imagined possible. Am heavy with promise. They resumed their work, but the mood had shifted. The understanding between them was palpable, and each brush stroke felt like a testament to their growing bond. The mountain and the flowing river began to come alive as colors blended and danced, embodying the synergy between their stories. As they painted the final strokes, a beautiful golden hue washed over the canvas, capturing the essence of both their worlds. Leaning back to admire their work, Marcus felt a rush of pride. It's incredible, he said, his voice filled with awe. I never expected we'd create something so beautiful together. Lyra touched his arm, a gentle gesture that sent a thrill through him. It is our creation, past and present merging into one. A comfortable silence enveloped them once more. Marcus realized that despite their distinct backgrounds and challenges, they shared an extraordinary connection that transcended words. Hey, what if we present this to the others? Lyra suggested, her eyes brightening. They could see beyond first impressions. Great idea. Let's show them what we can create together. Marcus replied, enthusiasm bubbling within him. This could be the start of something fantastic. Then let us prepare. Lyra said, determination coursing through her. We will bridge our cultures and illustrate our shared dream. As they cleaned up the mess of colors and brushes, excitement buzzed between them. But deep down, Marcus knew this was more than just a piece of art. It was a representation of their burgeoning relationship, a reminder of their shared humanity as well as their alien qualities. As they left the grove, a sense of joy enveloped him. The future was uncertain, but with Lyra by his side, he felt ready to face anything. Together, they would build something lasting, not just on canvas but in the very fabric of their worlds. Chapter 4. Cultural Leaps. The sun hung high over Zephyron, casting a warm glow over the grove where Marcus and Lyra had first met. Today was the moment they had both been eagerly anticipating, the unveiling of their collaborative canvas. With the painting complete, it was time to share their creation with both the humans and Zephyronians who surrounded their settlement. As Marcus approached the gathering area, he could see a mix of curiosity and skepticism on the faces of his team members. He spotted Nathan talking to a couple of Zephyronian leaders at the center of the camp. "Nathan, any luck convincing them?" Marcus asked as he joined the group. Nathan shrugged, glancing at the aliens. "Not yet. They're not exactly eager to listen to us outsiders. It might be tough to win them over. Maybe we could use our art," Marcus suggested, fidgeting with the corners of the canvas, wrapped in cloth to keep it hidden for now. "Art?" Nathan raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You think that'll work?" "Sometimes a picture speaks louder than words," Marcus replied, determination lighting his eyes. "Lyra and I created something special. If they see it, they might understand our intentions." Lyra stepped forward, her vibrant features radiating confidence. "Marcus is right. This painting represents both our worlds. If they see it, they can better comprehend our connection." "All right, let's give it a shot then," Nathan said, glancing hesitantly at the Zephyronian leaders. "Just be ready. They can be intense." As Marcus approached the leaders, whispers among the gathered crowd faded into silence, all eyes on him and Lyra. "Thank you all for gathering today," he began, his voice steady but filled with anticipation. "We'd like to share something we have created together, something that embodies both our cultures." He could feel his heart race as he and Lyra carefully unveiled the canvas. The painting shimmered in the dappled sunlight, the colors swirling together to represent the flowing river, the majestic mountains, and the vibrant landscape of both Zephyron and Earth. Gasps escaped the crowd, eyes widened in appreciation. "Behold the harmony of our worlds," Lyra proclaimed, her voice ringing with enthusiasm. "This piece is more than just paint. It tells a story, the story of unity and understanding." One of the Zephyronian leaders, a tall figure with elaborately patterned skin named Caliph, furrowed his brow, studying the painting intently. "You capture the essence of our waters, but what is this creature?" He pointed at the soaring eagle which stretched elegantly above the landscape. "That's a representation of freedom from Earth," Marcus explained. "The eagle signifies exploration and the desire to rise above any obstacles, similar to your connection with the sea and the skies." Caliph nodded slowly, his expression contemplative. "Freedom is a concept we can understand. Our seas were once hindered by outsiders, and that brought about many conflicts. You speak of it highly. There can be joy in freedom too," Lyra added, gesturing toward the shimmering colors. "And beauty. We believe that art can create understanding where words often fail." Another Zephyronian named Selari stepped forward, her eyes searching. "But how do we know this is not just a facade? Many have come seeking only to take from us." "I know the difficult history," Marcus replied, his voice firm yet gentle. "And I respect your concerns. This painting is an invitation, an attempt to connect rather than divide. We're not here to exploit, we're here to learn." Solari's expression softened. "You stand for your people. But can you stand for our people as well?" Lyra's eyes glowed as she leaned closer to Marcus. "We can create something together, much like this painting. Collaborations can build trust. We want to learn your stories as you learn ours." The crowd began to murmur, curiosity piquing their interest. Nathan moved to stand proudly beside Marcus and Lyra. "If they can see what we're trying to do, maybe we can find common ground," he said to a few nearby humans who nodded their agreement. Calitha's gaze shifted to the painting again, this time scrutinizing every detail. "Perhaps a demonstration of your people's art and our own would clarify intentions? You create a painting and we show you the stories of Zephyron." "Absolutely," Marcus exclaimed. "That would be amazing. I can showcase our traditions of drawing with bioluminescent paints," Lyra chimed in, lighting up with enthusiasm. "It can be interactive and beautiful. Then let us combine our efforts. Show us the traditions of your people as we unveil our own," Caliph declared, the crowd responding enthusiastically. As plans were set into motion, Marcus felt a wave of relief wash over him. "This could change everything," he whispered to Lyra. "I believe it will," she replied, her gaze fixed on the leaders who were already discussing next steps. "But it all hinges on our ability to understand each other. Let's make it something special," he said, excitement bubbling within him. "Something that makes everyone feel included." A flurry of activity ensued as both humans and Zephyronians began to prepare for the upcoming cultural exchange. Lyra and Marcus collaborated with the Zephyronians, discussing ideas with Calith and Selari while establishing a timeline for their event. Days later, the grove buzzed with anticipation. A large canvas was arranged in the center while vibrant decorations made up of bioluminescent plants adorned the trees around them. On one side, the humans set up a small area for their own artistic expressions, while on the other, the Zephyronians prepared to showcase their own unique creations. Things began with Lyra selecting colors from the plants, expertly blending the pigments to demonstrate how they would create art that glowed against the darkening sky. The humans watched with admiration as she waved her brush like a wand, illuminating her section of the canvas. "Now it's your turn." Lyra beamed at Marcus, handing him a paintbrush. "All right, let's see if I can impress you," he said, stepping forward. He started to sketch a mountain range, the swift strokes turning each shape into something alive. The onlookers watched pensively, wanting to see what this blending of cultures would produce. As they painted together, their laughter filled the air, infectious and sincere. "See, I told you I was getting better," Marcus exclaimed, stepping back to admire their work. Lyra chuckled, rolling her eyes playfully. "You're not too shabby for a human. What about you?" "You're a natural," Marcus replied, throwing a teasing glance her way. As they shifted focus to a new section, Lyra began explaining the stories behind her paintings, the songs of the sea, the dances of the myriad creatures, and the stories from her childhood. "Every brushstroke carries the spirit of my people," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "These stories connect us deeply to the land." As she spoke, Marcus could see the passion in her eyes, and he felt a burning desire to share his own tales. "On Earth," he began, looking thoughtful, "we celebrate seasons through art. There are festivals for spring, summer, each with its own stories and songs. The colors mirror those of life and change." As the sun dipped lower, casting a warm glow over their shared canvas, the atmosphere was filled with camaraderie. Both groups exchanged stories freely, letting the art bind them together. As they concluded the exchange, Calith stepped forward, his expression pleased. "You have woven a tapestry of life here today, a collaboration that shows the brilliance of both worlds." Marcus felt pride swell within him. "And this is only the beginning." "Indeed," Lyra added, passion threading through her voice. "Together we shall continue to build bridges, creating a future enriched by our combined stories." With newfound friendships and understanding between their peoples, Marcus felt a flicker of hope. It was not just about art anymore. It was about creating something enduring, a foundation built on trust and passion, ready to stretch further than they could dream. Together, they were crafting a new narrative, one stroke at a time. Chapter 5. A New Dawn. The air in the grove felt electric, charged with excitement and anticipation. Marcus stood back and looked at the newly completed canvas that depicted an intricate blend of Earth and Zephyronian life. The painting had become a stunning representation of their collective stories, vibrant with the colors of both worlds. "Can you believe we actually did it?" Marcus exclaimed, turning to Lyra, his eyes wide with wonder. "I can," she replied, her tone conspiratorial and warm. "It was within us all along. We merely needed to ignite it." "A spark, huh?" he mused, grinning at her. "I like that metaphor, but let's just hope it doesn't lead to chaos." Lyra laughed, her melodic voice cutting through the remaining tension of the day. "Chaos can be beautiful. It is how new things are born." "True," Marcus conceded, thinking about everything they had created together, the painting, their connection, and even the newfound collaboration between their peoples. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow through the foliage, Calith approached, flanked by several other Zephyronians. His demeanor was serious, but there was a sense of curiosity shining in his eyes. "Marcus, Lyra," Calith began, looking deeply at the artwork. "You have done something remarkable here. This piece captures the essence of both our worlds. The rivers of Zephyron flow alongside the mountains of Earth. It is a fusion of shadows and light." "Thank you," Marcus said, feeling a warmth spread through him from Calith's praise. "What do you think of presenting this at the Interspecies Assembly? It could be a significant symbol." Lyra nodded enthusiastically. It will be a step toward understanding, something tangible to share with both Earth representatives and Zephyron leaders. Calith stroked his chin, contemplating. Yes. However, we must refine our intentions. Your people's reaction could vary. Nathan, who had been listening from a distance, chimed in. Maybe we should prepare a short presentation, highlight the stories beyond the visuals. Add context to the art. It might help emphasize our intent. Would you speak at the assembly, Marcus? Lyra asked, turning to him, a spark of excitement in her eyes. You have a way with words. I can try, he replied, nerves bubbling in his stomach. I'm not exactly an expert, but I'll do my best. Over the next few days, both groups prepared for the assembly. There was a bubbling mix of hope and apprehension. Would the gathering be met with acceptance? Would they see the bridge they were trying to build? On the assembly day, a grand hall had been set up open to the sky. The area was adorned with bioluminescent plants, softly glowing in vibrant colors that illuminated the space. Humans and Zephyronians mingled, exchanging ideas and stories as they took their seats. As Calith opened the assembly, he acknowledged the importance of unity. Today, we gather not just to listen but to learn. We are here to find common ground, a shared narrative that transcends our differences. Marcus felt his heart race as he waited for his turn. Lyra sat beside him, her eyes encouraging and bright. Remember, your experiences matter. Speak from the heart. When it was his turn, he stood up, taking a deep breath to center himself. The crowd quieted, the weight of many eyes focused on him. I want to thank you all for this opportunity to share our creation, he began. This painting represents not just colors but our stories, our journeys. He gestured toward the canvas, its imagery swirling with life. The eagle you see soaring is a symbol of freedom, just as our cultures hold the promise of flight, exploration, and understanding. Calith nodded, encouraging him to continue. You spoke of freedom, Marcus, and our shared desire for understanding, Lyra added, standing beside him. From Earth to Zephyron, we each have tales echoing our past. But our future remains unwritten. Art holds the power to weave these stories, Marcus continued. What we created here is only a glimpse of what we can achieve together. Let us step forward and share our cultures, our celebrations, and our dreams. The crowd murmured and a few people nodded in agreement. Marcus looked to the Zephyronian leaders, hoping to gather their support. Calith's voice boomed again. Indeed, this is a time of collaboration. We must not fear what we do not know, instead we can learn. As murmurs of agreement rippled through the hall, Lyra stepped forward again. Unlike before, we can embrace each other's narratives, building upon them. Let us create stories where understanding takes center stage. With a wave of applause, even the skeptics among the Zephyronians began to nod in approval. Marcus felt buoyed by the reception. Nathan jumped up, wading into the conversation. Think of joint projects. Festivals that celebrate both cultures. Let us eat together, share our music, and learn the importance of each feast, each melody that tells a story. As the hall erupted into laughter and chatter, Marcus felt a wave of relief wash over him. It seemed the crowd was starting to see the possibilities, capable of melding the diverse threads of their lives into one cohesive tapestry. Let's not forget the small exchanges, Lyra added. Every gesture, every song, and every story shared brings us closer together on this new journey. Then, as music rose from an impromptu gathering in the corner, Marcus saw how easily the lines were blurring between them. Humans and Zephyronians began to dance together, each movement filled with exploration, laughter, and understanding. I didn't anticipate this would be so vibrant, Marcus admitted, turning to Lyra, who looked utterly radiant. Neither did I, she responded, her eyes sparkling as she took in the scene. Imagine if this could continue beyond today, how much could we create together? Endless possibilities, he agreed, feeling his heart soar at the thought. As the evening drifted on and the stars began to peek through the sky, both groups came together, sharing food, stories, and traditions. Laughter filled the air, and the lines of culture began to blur vividly. Marcus, look at them, Lyra said, gesturing to a group practicing a dance together. They are exchanging more than just words, they are forging connections. Exactly, he replied, and a sense of fulfillment washed over him. What started as an awkward encounter has led to this, a moment of unity. The night wore on, festivity igniting every corner of the hall. As the warmth of camaraderie enveloped him, Marcus realized that this was more than just a day of sharing. It was the beginning of something meaningful. Later, as the festivities began to wind down, the two stood by the glowing canvas, now illuminated like a guiding light in the evening. Thank you, Lyra said softly, her gaze retreating from the painting to meet his, with a depth of emotion that nearly took his breath away. For believing in this. Thank you for challenging me to see beyond myself, he replied, his voice low. I couldn't have done it without you. As the last of the revelers began to drift away, Lyra took his hand, intertwining their fingers. I believe this is only the first step. Absolutely, he replied, squeezing her hand in reassurance. Together, we can create something expansive both as artists and explorers. They gazed at the luminous canvas, a vivid reminder of their journey. And in that moment, both Marcus and Lyra understood that they had forged something far beyond simple art. It was a pathway leading them to uncharted territories of unity, connection, and companionship.